Hi, I'm Scott with Trax Software. The new Animal Wizard makes it a snap to enter a new animal in the database, and the wizard automatically distributes all of that information to the pertinent modules. Let's take a look. For a member of your staff to use the new Animal Wizard, they will need at least insert level permission for animal features in the Inventory section under Permissions in Configure User Security. There are two ways to open the new Animal Wizard. One is by selecting File, New Animal from the Trax main menu, or you can click on the new Animal Wizard icon on the toolbar. Now that we have the new Animal Wizard open, we'll start by selecting the animal type, individual or group. In the Copy from Animal field, we can accelerate the entry process by copying from an existing animal. We will enter the accession number of the animal we want to copy from, hit Enter, and then we can select as many of these copy choices as we like. We can change them later in the wizard if we need to. We'll deselect these before going to the next screen so that we can see how to use the Taxonomy search field. On this next screen, we will use the Taxonomy search field to find and enter the correct species for this animal. This field validates our entry. We can begin typing, and the search field will produce a list for us to choose from. We can begin typing either the scientific name or the common name and hit Enter, and the search field will provide a selection window. Here we haven't provided a complete taxonomy, so the selection window provides us with the taxa that start with what we have typed so far. We can also use the tree view to select the taxonomy. And here's the taxonomy for this new animal. Or if it's simpler, we can just type in the entire taxonomy in the search field. If we ever need to use a custom taxonomy, Trax does support this. Next, we'll click in the Life Stages selection box if we want to track life stages for this animal. And in this field, we can enter the ISIS GAN if we want. On this screen, we will enter how the new animal was acquired. For example, we can select Purchase, and then when we click on Next, we see the information that Trax is asking for regarding this purchase: the scope, the institution it was purchased from, the former accession number, and the price. Defaults for the acquisition event types can be configured to save time. But let's go back and choose the event type Birth. Now we can see that Trax is no longer asking for the former accession number and the price, etc., because that information does not apply to a birth event type. The Date In field has a calendar tool, so that we can easily click on the correct date. And Trax assumes this scope for a birth event. New Enclosure and Responsible Role are required fields, and if we try to go on without completing these fields, Trax will prompt us for that information. Similar to the Taxonomy search field, the New Enclosure field restricts us to a list of accurate enclosure names. And we can begin typing, hit Enter, and get a selection window. Monkey Palace is the new enclosure for this animal. Trax defaults to this responsible role because it's the role that's been assigned to this enclosure, but we could choose a different role in the drop-down if necessary. And we could choose a different collection in its drop-down. There is also a place for comments here. On this next screen, we will enter the birth information, hybrid information, initial rearing, and the sex. We'll click on Next and enter the parent information. The dam and sire institution fields have a search screen like what we've seen previously. Because the parents are at our institution, Trax will validate the accession numbers and warn us about a variation in species with a pop-up message. If we need to add complicated parent information, such as multiple dams or sires or genetic material, Trax supports this with the More Details button. We'll enter the correct accession numbers for the parents, and now we've entered all of the information in the new Animal Wizard. If we need to go back and check anything before saving, we can do so with the Back button. Now we'll click on Save, and we can see that Trax has added this new animal to the database and given it the accession number of A14030. Here is the new Animals Events module, and we can see the information we added regarding the birth event. Trax added everything we entered in the new Animal Wizard to all of the pertinent modules, and as we open the various modules, we can see the information we added for this new animal. In the Animal General module, in the Rearing module, in the Sex module, and in the Parents module. You can see how simple it is to enter a new animal using the new Animal Wizard, and how this wizard is integrated with the appropriate modules in Trax. But if you have questions about the new Animal Wizard, just send us an email at support@traxsoftware.com.